Hey NRL vid 090 back here with another video tonight now, and tonight's video is my State of Origin Game 1 tip for tomorrow and predictions, obviously. So yeah, look, we're probably 24 hours away from kickoff, and I think this is the time where tomorrow, this is the time where State of Origin will be exactly be played at. And yeah, I'm keen for it because the game's up in Townsville at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, aka the home of the North Queensland Cowboys. But it was supposed to be at the MCG originally in Melbourne, but due to the COVID situations down there and all that, they had to move it up to Townsville, which I think is a great idea. I think Townsville, and the stadium itself, Queensland Country Bank Stadium, is a great stadium for holding events like this, like State of Origin and all that. But I do think it's an unfair advantage to Queensland, but still, all that matters is what team turns up or what state turns up on game day. And yeah, let's hope that it's the Blues. I do support the Blues, so let's hope they can get up and win. But yeah, it'll be interesting either way. But yeah, my tips and predictions. So look, I think looking at both teams, I think Blues have a stronger team. I think just with Latrell Mitchell and Tom Trbojevic as centres, I think that's both potent attacking weapons. Both can bust the line and make line breaks. Both two game-changing players like Latrell Mitchell and Tom Trbojevic. And then you got a world-class fullback in James Tedesco, who's very influential for any team he plays for, pretty much, whether that's Australia, Blues, Roosters, or whoever. He's very influential, Tedesco, and always does a class job at fullback. And then it's a different halves pairing this year for the Blues, but it's one that's pretty familiar to the Panthers especially, and that's Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary as the halves for the Blues. I think that's a real strength for the Blues this year as well. Just as long as Nathan Cleary, doesn't crumble under pressure and State of Origin like he's done for the past couple of years now, and hopefully doesn't do it again. And if he doesn't, that's great because we need a good Nathan Cleary for this series. And Jerome Luai, it's his first Origin game, so the pressure will be on him. But he's been in great form for since last year, heading into this year. So I think he will go really well, Jerome Luai, hopefully. Yeah, he's a special player, so I think he'll go well either way. But let's just hope so anyway. And with the forward pack, for the Blues, they've got a great forward pack. I think, Payne Haas, Jake Trbojevic, Cameron Murray, and, Tarek Sims, I say, some real hard workers in that forward pack. And excuse me, and yeah, some real hard workers, real enforcers in that team as well, in the forward pack especially. And, and you got Damien Cook, who, would be hoping to get a quick play the ball from, especially from, Jake Trbojevic and Daniel Saifidi, who are the props. You'll be hoping that, they can do some quick early play the balls to Damien Cook, who can run off the back of that and, show his running game, because we need Damien Cook to run the ball, because that's a real strength of his game that he has not been using recently. So let's hope that does feature tomorrow night, he's running. And yeah, I think overall it's a pretty strong team. I think Brad Fittler has selected an alright squad. The only things I don't really like about it is having Jack White off the bench and having Tarek Sims there. But I guess the main reason why Tarek Sims is there is because of injuries to the Blues, and there's not much options. So, and Tarek Sims has played Origin before last year, yeah. So he shouldn't he shouldn't be that bad. I don't think. I think he knows what it takes, and he knows what happens during Origin and all that. Now, Jack White, I think he's a fantastic player, Jack White. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on him or anything, but I think this year he's been personally very dumb in some of the decisions and how he's played this year. I think his form's been pretty bad this year. The Raiders, I know that the whole club's pretty much struggling. You can't just say it's one player out of everyone else that's struggling, but I do look at how Jack White's gone ever since he won the Dally M medal in 2020, and just how he's ever gone since then. And I think ever since he's won the Dally M medal, he's really slacked off his great form, or he can play out to his potential. And yeah, look, I don't know. I think Jack White's a great player, but he hasn't done enough, in my opinion, to earn himself a blue spot. Personally, I'd go over either Cody Walker or someone like that as the number 14 utility for the Blues or something like that. Not Jack White, but I guess with Jack White, Freddie does like his versatility, because he can play as a loose forward pretty much because of how big he is, and he can play in the centres, fullback in the halves. He's a very versatile player, Jack White, but just don't know if his form's been good enough to be there, but he's there anyway, so I hope he does a job. And now onto the Queensland Maroons team. Their back line isn't as bad as well, but I think Blues is better, but their back line isn't too bad. They've got a lot of attacking weapons like, I was going to say Ponga, but Ponga's ruled out. But they've got Val Holmes at fullback. I think Val Holmes has been very good for the Cowboys, especially at fullback this year. Looks very home there, and he's been doing a very good job for the Cowboys at the back. And I'm sure he will bring that exact same form he's been showing at the Cowboys at fullback into this game for the Queensland Maroons. And, Kyle Felt will make his Origin debut in the wing tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. So he's another guy that I think has been waiting a very long time, or a little bit too long, to make his Queensland debut. So, look, I hope he goes well, but not too well, though. And the centres, the centres that aren't too bad. Dane Gagai is always good in State of Origin. He just needs to put a Queensland Maroons jersey under his South Sydney Rabbitohs jersey, and he's all good, because he's always good in Origin for some reason, so gotta watch out for him. Kurt Capel on the centres as well. Kurt Capel did a very good job there last year against Clint Gutherson, but Clint Gutherson isn't a regular centre like Latrell Mitchell, Tom Trbojevic is, because, they're both, Tom Trbojevic and Latrell Mitchell are both fullbacks, of course, but Latrell Mitchell's had more experience in the centres, and Tom Trbojevic can play in the centres because he's just a natural athlete. And, Kurt Capel did a good job there last year, and we'll see how he goes again this year. But, I think Gutherson, he's not really a centre. He's not built for a centre. I think Tom Trbojevic and Latrell Mitchell are more built as centres, I think, pretty much. So it's going to be an interesting battle of that. And then, the halves for them, Cameron Munster and Daly Cherry Evans. Now, that's a good halves pairing. That's the halves pairing that did take them to a series win last year. I think Cherry Evans, is a class player, always does his best, always consistent, always, in the game. Hopefully the Blues can stop him because he's a very smart player, but I'm sure he'll have something up his sleeve. Cherry Evans, of course, like he always does. And Cameron Munster is obviously a very good foil for Cherry Evans. Munster always provides in big games. He's a very trustful player. He always does a good job, Munster. So, us New South Wales going to have to try and stop him as well. And their forward pack, their forward pack's not great, but I think it's still sort of decent because they've got guys like David Fafita in there, who's a world-class centre on his day. Tino Fa'asua Malawi, a very solid young lock. And Jaden Suar's a very hard-hitting back rower who's an enforcer, in my opinion. And you've got Jared Wallace, Christian Welch, and all those sort of players. And the hooker, Harry Grant, I think Harry Grant's an excellent young dummy half. He's going to have a big future ahead. And, he played very well last year in 2020 in Game 3 at Suncorp Stadium. So, Blues have to try and stop him from showing that sort of form again. But, it's going to be a good battle, I think, between Queensland and New South Wales, and hopefully the Blues win. And it should be good in Game 1, but my tip for this game, I will be going with the New South Wales Blues. I have to go with the Blues. And this is the closest I do have to going for the Blues. I have no jerseys of the Blues, no caps or anything, just 2 beanies. That's the only closest thing I have to supporting the Blues on tomorrow. And, so I've got Blues to win 20 points to 14. I think will be a bit too good, hopefully. Although my first try score is going to be from Queensland, and that's with Xavier Coates. And man of the match will be Latrell Mitchell, in my opinion. And the final score, of course I'm going to go with 20 points to 14. But guys, that's my State of Origin Game 1 2021 tips and predictions. I hope you all enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and catch you in another video soon.